this stage and spit fire. Ignite this microphone and lift it like a torch higher, forcing your eyes to gaze upon me and compelling your ears to listen to me. But I'd much rather spit in the dirt, creating a healing salve, rub it across your eyes, making sure you have all that you need to help you see the very power of your legacy. So that when my voice was not present and the light of my torch was not evident, you can still hear the voice of your destiny beating inside of you. You can still feel the glow of your promise burning up the path in front of you. And the fire that I spew in poetic form is but a small ember added to your fiery norm. And the words that I speak and flow in beat is but a pitter of the pat to your own cadence beat. I would that your seeing align with his knowing, that the light of his glory would never stop flowing through the cracks of your cornea, onto the rods of your retina, casting a picture so clear that nothing could cloud it, not even your own tears. Oh, I could stand on this stage and project my voice like a missile, shoot word bullets in the air while you're digging my style. But I'd much rather you hear with your heart. Better yet, put your ear to his heart. Wrap your lobes around the heavenly sound that would send vibrations all the way down to the soul of your inner ear, converting supernatural whispers into crystal clear directions that no man could deter you from. Strategies that even in your most brilliant mind you couldn't even fathom. So what on earth did I come here for? Not to spit poetry and snap it up till your fingers are sore. I came to redirect your attention. I came to redirect your attention. I came to redirect your attention so that you can hear with your eyes this encryption. Watch to see what he will say. I'm in the book, Habakkuk 2:1. Don't play. See the realizations of God's words spoken over you. Watch closely as these prophecies come true. You're more than a chemical reaction between two body parts. Didn't you know? You're the very essence of God's heart. Hear the sounds of success and victory echoing through heaven's tapestry, converting sound into reality. He made you propitiously, perfectly. Hear faith and see it through. See love and be it too. Dare to sacrifice yourself for another man's urgency. Abase yourself, yet always dream courageously. Though I could stand on this stage and spit fire, work this microphone so hard, make you want to retire, I just want you to see what I'm saying, hear what I'm relaying. And through these rhythms and through these rhymes, make sure that you're hearing and you're seeing fall in line.
Head swaying, body twisting, moving like I got no bones. Music reaching deep inside, way down to my soul. I be dancing. Hips rocking, feet stomping, pounding to the beat. Eyes flashing, lips pouting. I don't even want no seat. I be dancing. Back arching, hands reaching, drumbeat pulsing through my veins. Chest heaving, breathing hard. Congo beat, take me away. I be dancing. Legs strutting, feet on fire, moving to put out the flames. Guys be trying to run their games. I don't have time to play. I be dancing. Can't they see? I be stepping. I be moving. I be dancing. Remembrances, reaching back spiritually, embracing absent family and loved ones. We will mourn our loss of them forever. But on this day, we pay homage and honor their memory. We thank God for them and all they gave, and as graciously as we know how, thank them for their sacrifice. We recall daughters, mothers, foremothers, and our sons, brothers, fathers, warriors, ancestors, all who stood tall till time, as measured by eternity's hand, released them from their labor. Remembrances, memories handed down one to another in ways that anchor and reassure us, keeping souls safe through prayer and faith. Those who came before paved the way, opened a door to which only they held the key. In the meanwhile, they have left us remembrances. May we ever be comforted by this gift from God, this feeling, this yearning deep inside, remembering absent, yet forever present, caring hearts and hands, warm smiles, strong backs, gentle hugs, given then to build fortresses within us, shields of love that comfort and cradle us. They soften tomorrow's blows, enrich our spirits with lullabies that echo in our minds, soothe our souls, echo in our minds, in ways that only love can comprehend. Remembrances, special and treasured memories of different times, different places. Somehow, despite losses, family, friends, precious and delicate, despite it all, we grow, always, for the legacy must continue. We lift little ones to places of understanding through stories and family photographs, keeping alive their connection with folk gone long before their time. Some gone so long, even elders struggle to recall their face, but their place in the family will always stay strong, just like the love and the strength they shared and dared to give. At times, it was all they had. Now, we remember with love that they gave their best, and their best makes our tomorrows better. Remembrances, through smiles and tears, we thank God that despite our pain and sadness, we are made glad when we remember. Rock this. It might seem like we're trying to rock the mic. The real deal is we're trying to fight the good fight. Lifting verse opens minds, sometimes opens doors, brings news, heartfelt views from our world to yours. We don't simply speak for ourselves when we write, but for weary warriors who fought day and night. We speak for the silent, the misunderstood too. We speak to inform those who don't have a clue. We speak for battered lives and tossed aside seniors. We speak with teens on self-esteem in crucial in-between years. We speak for honored champions who toiled and paid their dues, for those depressed and still in pain, for those fighting the blues. We also speak to lift a praise and to celebrate. And yes, to share the good news, because His love is great. So when we put our pen to page, like blood our feelings flow. And when we walk out on that stage, we speak of what we know. You see, life is our practice. Every day we rehearse. This craft is our sacred gift, built strong verse by verse. Each time we pick up the mic, we defeat adversity. Each time we pick up the mic, we claim a victory. Each time we pick up the mic, a soul could be set free. Each time we pick up the mic, we fulfill our destiny. Some may call it rock the mic. I call it poetry.
The rain pitter-patters as it splashes on the ground. It slips and slides and drips and glides and makes a slumping, thumping sound. The sky is filled with great white clouds, the mud as brown as coffee grounds. The flowers kneel, humbled servants, leaves folded, petals bowed. The wind pushes past, rustles through the trees, heaves and whistles through the grass, clears the fog for us to see. Somewhere in the damp and crisp cold air, the sunlight slips through the darkened layer. The rain softens and hits the pavement with a weakened blow. Now the tulips begin to bloom, showered in an orange glow. As the world shifts into focus, the birds resume their sprightly song. My heart leaps and jumps and cheers along as if nothing were ever wrong. When rain is mixed with tears and thunder hides your pain, when trees snap and twist and scowl and you feel trapped, wrapped in silver chains, once you finally turn the page, Mother Nature relinquished of her rage, you know after the rain, songbirds don't sound the same. 'Cause when the morning sun does rise, I open up these tired eyes. The sky is crisp and clear. The sunlight shines above the melted ice. And a smooth melody dances on the breath of paradise. If I had a crown, it would be carved from the twisted branches of the olive tree and wrapped in plumed thistles. Even though my mama always told me not to fool around in the dirt too much or I'd get leaves and sticks stuck in the greedy coils of my hair. But I don't care. I think that would look pretty up there. Green ivy and blackberries and the like all emerging from the tip-top of my head, spreading to my soul, slow taking root. Life sprouting out of me like I am both the seed and the fruit, so vibrant and full that you would mistake my crown for the Garden of Eden and be lost in the greenery. If I had a crown, it would be tall as my grandmother's strides Sunday morning when soft orange sun rays seep through the windowsill. Still, if I had a crown, it would be heavy with the weight of promise and expectation. It would be a piece of pure perfection and carry the sweet scent of Haitian mangoes and mint. If I had a crown, I'd wear it every day, every minute, hell, I even sleep in it. And you would know, for my crown made with clouds plucked from the open skies, wrapped up in these heavenly coils, would show that I was truly royal. But for now, I don't have a canopy crown atop my weathered head, so I guess I'll just have to make one for myself instead.
A young man walked past me as I waited for the bus, and upon further observation, I saw that his pants waist was way below his butt, and he was as high as a kite. But it's too bad his expectations in life matched his pants waist and not his state of mind. Then I saw that he had a cigarette in his mouth that was lit, and he was pushing a stroller with his young kids in it. He inhaled deep, blew out the smoke, but the wind blew it backwards and his young sons began to choke, and with one hand he patted his son's chest, with another hand took another puff and smoked the rest. And watching this unfold in front of my eyes inside myself, I started to cry. I started to cry because I was witnessing a kid raising kids, and this was my neighbor. He lived where I live, and although we lived in the same neighborhood, We had a whole different outlook on life. While I was thinking about how to improve my community, he was content with the night. He was content with having no hope. And the minute his mindset started to change, he would choose from an assortment of drugs so he can cope. And see, the scariest thing in this scenario is, if you've never known best, then your average becomes great. People's perception are their reality, and this young man was destined for mediocrity at this rate. As he got on the bus and sat next to me, I started thinking deeper about the complexity of the situation. See, although his pants waist was way below his butt, he had a belt on, which shows me he was still trying to keep up. And yeah, he was smoking in front of his kids, which is clearly a health risk, but it's still better than acting as if your kids don't exist. And yeah, he was high, but who am I to look down on this young man? So instead of thinking the worst, I asked if there was any way I can lend a helping hand. See, us as adults are ushering in a new generation who are hungry and searching for answers, and if we don't give them any, we're personally taking part in their damnation. And I mean, how can we expect them to make educated guesses if we don't give them any education? He put up his left arm, pulled the lever, signaling that this was his spot. But me, I couldn't get off. I had to stay on for a while, just thinking about our encounter at the bus stop.
I tell them to reach up high, reach as far as you can. I tell them to reach up high. What's up high, y'all? The sky. Reach for the sky. Do or die. You and I might try, but God knows that we can't fly. See, we don't have wings. It's a spiritual thing when we talk about soaring from the mountaintop. But don't stop the dreams that gleam as the moonbeams break through the jet stream. Remember, Queen will rise to the top, and we all would like to get our props. Props are about being recognized, and in whose eyes do you want to shine? Check the meaning your success defines, because you glitter, you glow, you flow, and you know some people never see you because their minds are blind. You might have the skill and the will and the zeal, but some mountains are not worth the climb. It takes wisdom and vision to make decisions, to find insight on how you reach the highest of heights. Invite God every day in your life. And when he shines on you, take a walk in that light and reach. Reach deep down inside you. Reach for the love there to guide you. Reach for what God did provide you at birth. A means to reach him there in heaven while you're still right here on earth. Thank you.
I look at this quarantine and think that we've been in the streets too long and it's time to come home, that we've all got a place to live but no place to call our own, no place for peace after a long day, no place for understanding, no place we can be our whole selves, our whole lives spent being told what to do. We finally become adults and then we start breaking the rules. See, now we don't need a home because the streets love us. They listen to us. Together we think that the systems in place gonna take care of us. Of course they can handle anything that comes up. I look at this quarantine and see people who look like me still dying and choosing not to be safe, disregarding all precautions or choosing to be afraid. See, some telling folks not to worry because you know God gonna have the last say, and others can only watch the news, discussing worldly problems from America's small point of view. See, globally, we not out the gates yet, but they know we itching to get outside, so they got the bait set, hook and catch. The fish fry got dinners for sale. They make money off your bodies. The big fish need us little guppies. I look at this quarantine and feel a longing for togetherness, a need for consistency and foundation. I feel heavy and I'm reminded that I'm not alone. I feel like the world is growing so dark, and then I'm told with open arms to come home, told not to leave without my mask, told to make sure that I wash my hands at home. There's space for understanding the rules. There's space for realizing that it's bigger than me. I'm told that it's bigger than me, reminded that in taking care of myself, I take care of the family, so I stay home. and act accordingly when I get in the streets. So with that being said, let's make sure that we're wearing our masks, that we are staying 6 feet away. I've been to quite a few protests and I haven't been necessarily doing that, but I am masked up. I am ensuring that I treat my body like a plant. I am eating healthy. I am connecting with my family. I am reading more. I am getting sun on my skin. So ensure that you're taking care of yourself and that you are being as safe as you possibly can in the connections that you are making during these crazy times. With my second piece, entitled Delicate Flower, it is one of my favorite pieces right now. And I wrote it because we as women, specifically Black women, hey y'all, we don't take enough time to be careful with ourselves because of how on the front line we have to be, because of how strong we have had to be over the years. We do not take enough time to sit back and recognize, I need a break. I need an opportunity to not have it all together today and still feeling like capable, still feeling able, still feeling like a woman. Today I'm wearing my Black Girls Don't Die t-shirt by Jasmine Mans, simply because I feel that statement with the whole of my body. Even in the ending of our lives, our stories live forever. And as a Black woman storyteller, I take pride and honor in that, in being a person to keep our stories alive. Cause I be the head patting, gum smacking, hood chick you met on the street, reminding you not to get too close, don't think it's sweet, crossing the wrong line to get your ass beat and still be the well-dressed, never settling for less, chakra balance, crown adjusted, locked goddess on your CEO boards and teaching all your classes with a cheery disposition and some big old glasses. The definition of what class is, but will get ratchet. Tread lightly, cross her grass, cause this delicate flower shines different. Blooms in adversity, defining her power and passion, knowing she was put here purposefully. Manifesting her magic, making miracles out of molehills, climbing out of the dirt. She shines different. Her growth is necessary, needed to be nurtured and tended to. No stone left unturned, cause she blooms in adversity. Through concrete she climbs, carrying hundreds of years of history, cause she shines different. Many questions will be asked and eyes gonna roll as she walks past, but ask yourself, how many times has Beyonce competed with anyone but herself? The opinions of the masses don't matter when your information is slaying stages, all the while causing glass ceilings to shatter, cause she shines different, blooms in adversity, cause she knows her sassiness will offend you, but still she rise. Maya Angelou vibes, she continues to hold her head high. She knows that you can't win if you ain't right within. Shout out to Miss Lauren. She knows the respect for her crown is to be demanded and not suggested, required and not requested. So you gonna learn today, cause she ain't want to be tested. If it's for Wakanda, best believe it's without question, cause she be a queen. Fierce and peaceful, got enough to feed her family and liberate her people, but be careful, cause she still be soft and gentle, cause the strong get weak too, but she knows that there's strength in her vulnerability, so she'll heal with you, cause she be a healer. Pick up broken pieces and mend broken hearts, is light inside her heart, cause she shines different, grinds different. When you're chilling in her presence, it's like time don't exist, just pure bliss. To your left or your right, be careful, it's queens in your midst. Thank you to all the queens, to all the kings. Thank you to the poets. Thank you to the artists. Thank you to the speakers of today. Thank you to the organizers, to the organizations. Thank you, Sister Joy, for giving us this space, for creating this space, for being a part of this space with us. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Peace.
When you choose to be a poet, there is no hiding your true emotions. And I've learned if you cannot be the poet, then become the poem. Your feelings are now on display for everyone to see and to feel and know. No one cares if you don't want to release a certain emotion. You see, to be a true poet, you bleed a certain way. You feel everything. You are now a walking exhibit. Your pain is a carefully painted masterpiece, a place where people can walk through and leave when they are ready. No one ever asks a museum if it is okay. This is the poet's job. Poetry is when an emotion has found its thoughts and the thoughts has found its words. It's when you breathe in experience and let out poetry. It heals the wounds inflicted by reason. It gives you a voice you never thought you had. It challenges your thinking, like, if I asked you to name all the things you loved, how long would it take for you to say yourself? As you write, you remember that you are not in this alone. You remind your eyes that they are terrible at keeping secrets. Your brain is horrible at love advice, and your heart needs to start wearing a helmet. It's confused thoughts put into an art form, because some days you will be the mess, and on other days you will be the broom, and on some days you have to be both. Poetry comes from the highest happiness or the deepest sorrow. It's when you truly discover who you are and what you feel. It's okay to feel what you feel, so relax, take a deep breath, and speak. They listen. I knew exactly what high school was gonna be like. My freshman year, I walked into the doors of this unfamiliar place I was soon to call home. They taught me to be in class on time, look nice and neat, raise your hand to speak, and everything will be all right. High school was some of my worst and best years. Freshman year was no exception, having to view everything with a different perception than I once did. Here's to the year to my first junior boyfriend, which I recommend to nobody, where I discovered that there are racists and sexists, and I am no longer shielded as I once was. This is the year that I constantly try to convince my shadow that I'm someone worth following. But I knew exactly what high school was going to be like. My sophomore year, 7:45 a.m. sharp, encouraging myself to have a mental bookmark on where I wanted to be in the near future and continue to outsmart my fellow classmates, thinking creatively and innovatively. Sophomore year had me writing and cultivating my next masterpiece. Whilst attempting to find my friend group, I began to scoop up new skills and gain recognition. Realized that I can't tell the difference between a mirror and a window because I see everything but myself. But it's all right, upperclassmen, here we come. I knew exactly what high school was gonna be like. My junior year, stressing, reflecting, and blessing that the blessings seemed to walk onto my lap, and I didn't have a care in the world. Discovered that standardized tests are not for me, but I still took my SAT ×3, and every day walking through those halls was leg day. When you continually run from your problems, this is now survival of the fittest. First AP classes, first dates, first boyfriends, because let's be honest, we don't date at 14 and 15. Pouring myself so much into everyone that I didn't know who I was anymore, and still managed to finish my year strong, even though half the time I was wrong. But I think I got it this time. I knew exactly what high school was gonna be like. My senior year, that statement has now completely turned false as I began to evolve. I would like to say standardized tests are still not for me, but it doesn't measure success. I gained academic scholarships to multiple universities without the SAT. Exes and friends begun to flee, and that was okay with me. I started to decipher who was for me and believe that that's the real tea, because even salt looks like sugar. No matter, this was my year, and now I knew better. Early action was the way to go. Make sure my counselors did their jobs like some pros. Straight A's, saw some plays, and learned to be unapologetically me. Cap and gown now in sight. Everything was going just right. Pandemic. Now academics put on hold. I see what's in store for my classmates, and man, 2020 is sure one for the books. And I put off what I feel to finish the year strong, like I promised. No prom, well, let's create one of our own. When graduation becomes more intimate than plannable, now we have landed alumni. Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Let's call this chapter 18, page 363, the one where everyone was quarantined. I don't know what college will be like. I do know, starting over as a freshman, my soul is a deep abyss full of possibilities I wish to explore. I have absorbed every lesson imaginable up to this point. So here's to our story, class of 2020. Those to come and those who have passed. Let's raise a glass to our next chapter. When you come from where they come from, I'm talking about that screaming type love, violence flowing in their veins, the anger projected through their pain. My ultimate love story is that black love. They try and tell us that such a love is a shame, you know, that love we never come back from. There's a way a black woman loves a black man as a black man loves a black woman. They do it as if it is the only thing they have ever done correctly. This black love exemplifies that as long as they have breath, they celebrate every dimension of their partner, tip of the tongue, spewing mighty praise songs with ancestral spirituals. They love so hard they forget that holding hands is a risk, not that they care because that much melanin, when the sun hits their skin, it's an instant glow, and I believe only they can take excellent sunlight photos. Black love in a system that has worked so hard to destroy such a beautiful creation. This ages back to the slavery days, where they watched black fathers and black mothers be caged, black sisters and brothers in range, where they even caged his love. Y'all, I'm talking about this black love, and I'm so happy we have hearts full of forgiveness. This love lives with the repercussions of a repressed society. They love so hard that they undermine this and reform and revolutionary politics. This love is sacred. All the perfectly and perfect open wounds. Black love is more than just two reground old plantations. With now cultural intelligence, I'll be Beyonce and you be Jay-Z. Even though we don't have to make millions to be happy, be my Randall Pearson to my Beth from This Is Us. Well, now y'all, this is we. They externalize colonizations with the black matrix. Be my Dre to my Bo, ensuring that the kids that they will not be blackish, but know that despite all the history, this is how life should be done. Now with a solidified kiss, be the Barack to my Michelle, my rock to my inspiration. We got generations to change. Be my Cliff to my Claire, where she never let anything slide and never tolerated anyone to impose on her husband's demise unless she said otherwise, and the only reason she would agree is because she said so. Be my Nelson to my Harriet as she fought for freedom. You know he really loved her when her odor got the stinking. Black love is faith over fear. Be my Keith to my Ryan Destiny, having the audacity to slay on days when everything else around us is ugly spirits healing the past trauma in our body. Future to my Sierra, wait, my bad, that's the past. Be Russell, loving every part of me as your own. This love is huger than any movement known. My Will to my Jada Pinkett, might have been in a different world, but the fresh of us all has gained the pearl, a diamond. Angela Bassett to my Courtney Vance, and I know I've had a flow this whole time, but can I just say that this love does not crack. 61 years of age, complimenting one another like the moon and the sea, hooping as if I'm Dwayne Wade, into a union as if I'm Gabrielle. This world is now ours. Samuel Jackson to my Latanya, Magic to my Cookie. By all means, let's be Oscar, and I'll be Trudy. Swiss Beans to my Alicia, Devin to my Megan, because I look so good. Be my Deron to my Jill. I'll be Vicky to your Aaron, Demetra to your Jimmy. This black love causes infatuation like Jazz had for Hillary. A love story throughout the ages. I'll be Whitley and you be Dwayne. And despite white society's belief that all the black man can do is inflict grief on a black woman's heart, I'm here to tell y'all the greatest love story of all. Be my William to my Joy Washington. Strong enough to look past the tears, push through their fears, shut down their peers so that they can move past the past, paving a new path and teaching me exactly how this black love should be.
God came to me. And of all places, Ronald Reagan National Airport, in the form of two angels with white hair, crumpled wings wrapped around withered backs at a metro platform, lost and looking for the gold line. Back to heaven is what I first thought till we talked, and I'm like, please stop apologizing, ma'am, I'm here to help. These trains can be confusing, and at one time or another, you know, we've all felt tossed. Baby, that's not it, she said. You just don't know what it's like to be 88 years old. Her husband had turned 89 the day before, and they had caroused the weekend with their eldest daughter, Mona, now seeing her off at this airport. Mona was 70. And Dad may not make it to 90, not because of old age, but because I see him starting what is probably their 5,968th argument. Woman, you're going to make us miss the train moving so daggone slow. But he knows better than to ever leave her. And she knew better. 40 years ago, and after what he did that one time, maybe she should have let him go, but she thought about it. Called her mama and all her girlfriends and decided, no. Why am I going to leave you? So you just run out there and have some more fun? No. I'm going to stay right here and keep kicking your behind for the next 40 years. I'm not leaving my warm bed. You move over. You take the pillow. You sleep on that couch. And they fought, and they made up, and they stayed in love. You young people today treat marriage like you could just crumple it up and throw it away, but times are different now, and sometimes I feel like we're just two old folks in a way. I was born in 1911, he said. Herbert Hoover Airport was 200 miles away. I hadn't even seen an aerial plane till I was 30 years old, and now this I just put my daughter on a rocket ship. This world is moving way, way too fast for me. And she looked over and said, it's okay, Don. Just hold on to me. And that's when it hit me. Standing there watching two old people hanging off of each other, praying that the other one didn't just fade away, crying like a baby at Ronald Reagan National Airport. Y'all, I realized I want that. It's about more than sharing a last name or believing in soulmates, because if I still did that, y'all, I'd have 3. This life ain't disposable. I'm living for the love of me. I want to fight like they did and make up until the wall sweat. I want to drag her around this planet until we run out of map, and I want to cling to her desperately at Ronald Reagan National Airport, telling strangers that my oldest child is 70 years old and the baby's 60. I want to play games like, remember that time rocking on a porch until I can't remember anything anymore. And if I can't, and if the time ever comes around like summer vacation and I lose my faculties, I want to know that my blank stare will be met with one of love, honor, and dedication. Just like that couple, just like Ron and Nancy.